Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Bill. This is Trying to Stand, where I try new things in pop culture because I've been living under a rock. This is the first official installment, I guess, of my Trying to Stand Saturday morning cartoon animation thing. So yay! I'm trying to keep my music stuff separate from the animation stuff as far as the schedule goes. Saturdays are going to be animation based, keeping Trying to Stand Tuesdays purely on music. Since we're all stuck inside, I decided to do what everyone else is doing and catch up on shows that I've missed. You guys have got me into Steven Universe, Over the Garden Wall, and Adventure Time, and now I wanted to check out Infinity Train. I'm stuck on Cartoon Network, I just realized. I've seen Gravity Falls and Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I do want to do videos on those in the future. Gonna be talking about it, showing some reactions along the way for you guys. I love making these kind of videos. You guys seem to like watching them, so yeah, if you keep enjoying them and keep liking them and all that good stuff, I'll make more. But we are here to talk about Infinity Train, specifically Book 1. I did have to purchase this off of Amazon. That's fine. It was $9. I was happy to do it. It's about the length of a movie. It's 10, about 11-minute episodes, so minus the credits, it's about 90 minutes. So yeah, if you think about it, it's like a $9 animated movie with breaks in between. It is a new show on Cartoon Network. I guess technically it's a mini-series, because the seasons, there's 2 seasons so far. They're 10 episodes apiece, 11 minutes long, I covered that. They all air like back to back like Over the Garden Wall did. I think someone said that Book 2's like an anthology part of it, but they're still, I'd imagine, connected. I don't know. The story centers around Tulip Olson in Minnesota, really into coding, very logical. She's hoping to go to a video game coding camp, which I guess it was like a weekend camp. Her parents are supposed to take her. Her parents have recently divorced. They both are still trying to figure out this new paradigm of their lives, and their schedules get messed up and conflicted, and she can't go. So she elects to run away from home and finds a mysterious train in the woods, promising to take her to the exact area in Wisconsin, Oshkosh, where this camp is being held. But little does she know that it is a train infinite in length, ever growing, but in like hell. She goes from car to car on this train trying to discover a way out, or rather a way home. Each car is basically an entire land. Sometimes it's a small room, sometimes it's a whole country. While she's trying to traverse this, she has a number on her hand that keeps changing, and she doesn't know what it means or why. Along the way, she finds a robot named 11 King, a Corgi King named Atticus. It's a very fun and engaging, interesting story with a lot of dark themes to it, but also a lot of personal growth, maturity, and understanding. As she tries to learn about the train, she ends up learning things about herself. I really enjoyed watching it. I found it so interesting. Whether you're looking at the grand details of the world, the train, the universes, the story, or the small details therein, it's a fun and enlightening, engaging story. It delivers these real messages in very palatable ways. Like, they talk a lot about the parents being divorced, how it affects Tulip being, I guess, 13, the effects that it has on her, as well as her perception of it and how she's handling it or not handling it. It sucks you in with its fantastic story, but then grounds you with these real character-driven moments. And we've had those before in the past, but I feel like they're becoming more and more frequent, which is exciting. As much as I am jealous, it is also exciting. It's like the depth of a Pixar movie has now merged into animated television, and Infinity Train continues that trend, in my opinion. At least Book 1 did. I don't know how to transition this, but choo-choo, all aboard the reaction train.
Guess it's weird to see your parents talking to each other now.
What do you mean, weird?
Well, because, you know, you're not married anymore.
So?
It's fine. Lots of people's parents are divorced.
That was a minute, and I already relate to the character, even though she eats raw onions.
You said if I brought my grade up in English, I could go. You and Dad signed a contract and everything.
I know,
Huh.
But your dad mixed up the dates and planned a work trip out of town.
Okay, well then why don't you take me?
I have a 12-hour shift at the hospital tonight and then another shift on Sunday.
You're gonna have to take the train.
What, so you're both too busy to be my parents?
Hey,
You guys are the ones whose divorce keeps messing everything up, not me. This isn't fair.
Damn. I love the animation. It looks like a storybook. Ooh, I like the synthy 80s sound to that theme. Yo, is this train even real? Be honest.
Are you my mom? No!
So you've come to bring me the sweet release of death.
What? Me?
Now go back to being a snowman or whatever you are.
Oh my gosh, what am I?
Me.
This is the train? Good guys popping bad guys. It's the best.
I read the subtitle as poopin'. Ugh.
This is not Wisconsin.
I don't think we're in Wisconsin anymore.
You're in kind of a bad place right now.
Yeah, you're in the hell train on your way to hell. So are you allowed to leave the train? Ew, it's like an apocalypse with like cockroach dog people things. Oh, it's a Dementor anus. Oh, that's not fair. It made a doggo sound.
It's a train, right? Trains have conductors.
But he would most likely be at the engine.
It's not promising when it's called the Infinity Train. Dude, that's a great pilot. Calling it right now. I know this is the 12th time I've said it about something. Hell. It does give me Over the Garden Wall vibes too, that it was like a train station in the middle of the woods. That's dope. Is the sales cat important? I love 1-1 now. Did her number just go down to 109, or was I just not paying attention enough? Episode 3, and it's called the Corgi Car, so I'm excited. See you in a bit. Okay, that ghost face sentinel stewardess thing creeped me out. I don't have a single idea what the number on her hand means. At first I thought it was like good deeds or negativity, like the more she kept ignoring people or doing bad things, the lower her number got. But then return to your seat, like is she still traveling to Wisconsin? This is awesome. Got a weird thing to show you, so tell all the boys and girls. That's amazing. I loved that. Dude, this show is great. Whoa, why did that cost her numbers? No, go back. I want the T-Rex world. No, you're important to this story? I don't trust you, Phyllis.
It has my name on it.
Oh, I don't trust the cat. Ew.
Who wants to celebrate with double onion ice cream cake?
Yikes. Kill it with fire. It's a bad memory.
Let's hear it for Daphne.
Yeah. It's about accepting what made her parents split up. Yeah, and sleeping on the couch because they were fighting. Oh, man.
So,
Oh.
I can meet you now.
Changing?
Damn it.
Is this like a puberty thing? Because if so, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be? You're not. Are you getting divorced?
The number was moving.
What is going down? The train must think you're doing well. Oh, wow.
Doing well.
I'm growing as a person.
Yes, and that's part of her growth too, is relinquishing the illusion of control. Wow. 1-1 is valuable. 1-1's part of the train, or something that like the train needs. At this point, it would be impressive if this season ends and I don't like this show. I think just like how that sentinel creepy mask no face thing is supposed to tear apart or replace broken things, I think he's part of the train staff, if not the conductor, and he's in charge of building and fixing things. I love this f***ing show. Put him back.
It's okay to cry.
Thank you, 1-1. What the f***? So Atticus is just a cockroach monster Dementor thing now. And the conductor's a dick. Dope. I'm still convinced that 1-1 is the director. Or conductor.
He's not Atticus anymore.
Jesus. Oh no.
You're losing progress, Miss Tuna.
There's still time to cure the dog.
Thank God. I'm having a hard time believing that the conductor wears a tart blanket. I don't think that's really the conductor.
So the glorified wind-up toy will be joining us.
I am glorious.
Yes. Are those people related to her? Yeah, this is the person who made the train. They both look like Tulip.
Plato says love is a serious mental disease.
She died. Whoa, plot twist.
Seeing her tape just made things harder.
Did the number go down?
I don't want to feel bad
Yep.
for her. Now I know she's a person named Amelia.
Yup.
And she's running away from the changes in her life.
Just like you. Whoa, your character development is done. You may leave.
I can't leave while Atticus is still a monster. Take us to the engine.
That's awesome as hell.
The train is never finished, kitten.
Wait,
We have to go through the new car to get in there?
it's an infinity train. Will this make sense if I knew coding at all? Like how each ball's like a specific thing, like trash cans or gravity? Ew, yeah, it looks like something from like a Miyazaki animatrix.
How dare you force me to reveal
relive those memories.
Just returning a favor, lady.
Fair enough.
You're trying to make a card of your old life.
Of course I am.
Wow.
But if you could create a card, Joliet, one where your parents are still together.
And then they wouldn't be my real parents.
Yep.
They wouldn't be my real life.
Yep.
They weren't happy together.
I've just been trying to keep one at bay.
1-1.
Called it. It's a Corky monitor. Sorry. Is this good? I can't tell if this is good. Is this what I want to happen? Is 1-1 supposed to go in there? Yes. Yay! Good.
1-1. You're the real conductor?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
There's a hole in the universe where Ulrich used to be. Why won't the train just let me put it back?
I don't know what it's like to lose someone you love. I do know that neither of us can go back to the way things were. We have to adapt to the changes in our lives.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'll be on the train forever. Numbers don't just go down.
Whoa.
An exit can appear in any car. It's just a matter of unlocking one. And 0 is the key.
I wasn't ready for it to happen all of a sudden like this. And now...
Me too.
Oh. Accepting that it's gonna be painful.
Wait, hug.
Come here.
Cool.
I love you guys.
7 months later, and she's still eating onions.
I'm ready for anything.
Yay. Whoa, that's it? That was nuts. I really liked that. All right, cut back to the studio. Crap. Also, called it. I really loved this show. I love the mystery behind it. I love the characters. I love that we also don't know everything. It feels like the synthy sci-fi grandchild of Over the Garden Wall. Both how it's this fantasy land with like a dark undertone. It's a lot of learning about the characters as we go. I don't know. I think there's something about that kind of storytelling that's so engaging. We still have that fish out of water element, but we don't know anything about who this person was beforehand. Both Over the Garden Wall and Infinity Train do this where it's like our main character is already in this fantasy world being told about magic, being told about all these different things in this fantastical setting, but then we learn later about their relationship with our world. The characters start as a mystery as well. We get just enough so we can have a basic understanding of some elements of who they are. It almost feels like a ploy to get me to watch it again now that I know more of who they are and being able to contextualize choices and jokes and mannerisms that I didn't pick up on the first time. Now with all the context at my disposal or what they're willing to give me now, I can go back and watch it and see little intricacies or appreciate the stubbornness of someone who eats an onion like it's an apple. The biggest fascination here, it's such an odd relationship with the mystery. The number on Tulip's hand, how it's handled, I feel like really changes one's relationship with storytelling. We're literally trained to focus on this number so much. There's times where we can see the number changing where it's not even acknowledged in the story or the script. It just happens when we kind of get fleeting glimpses of her hand. And then Tulip herself, the show, has her wear a glove over it and teaches you to not obsess over those details. When she's not focusing on it, you're not focusing on it, and you get more of the world. But I love this relationship with showing us the ticking clock for like the first half of it almost, and then covering it up, showing us both her progression and her obsession over the logic and numbers, and being someone who's so math and coding based. This has to be the answer. I can apply logic to this. It's a number. There's so much time spent on it, but part of this story is learning to let that go, both for the characters' benefit, but also our benefit. I was writing some notes, and at first all I was writing were times where the numbers go up and down. When Tulip remembers eating pizza while working with her dad, and not all work has to just be work. You can work and play and have a balance there. Why she's named Tulip and her birth story, but then it goes back up when she gets defensive. All these notes about the number changing, and I literally just wrote down, obsessing over the number took away from rewatch, distracting like it was for Tulip. You aren't meant to focus on it. Don't give into that temptation. And I think that's kind of the point, is I think because Infinity Train is going to be mystery based, and we've already had so many shows like Gravity Falls, Over the Garden Wall, even Steven Universe with its little nuggets all over the place, the chest in Lion's Mane, allowing us to let go of that analytical side of us, as well as Tulip letting go of that analytical side of her, and opening up to what this story has to offer and what this world has to offer and the intricacies therein. I felt like I was being taught a lesson as Tulip was learning the lesson. That was all it was for her at first, was logic over this almost therapeutic. That's what it is. It's essentially, it's like a really intense therapy session you can't escape from until you get your breakthrough. But then when she does have that breakthrough, she doesn't leave quite yet. She's truly grown into the person that she's meant to be by the end of this exchange experience. It's not you reached zero, it's time to go. It's no, this person with nothing left to learn now understands there's more to this than just yourself. That's the actions of someone who does hit zero. Now our character that we've invested this time in is now the complete person when the number hits zero, and getting the fruits of that labor, getting to see the other side of this. I couldn't tell you a single episode that I could cut out of this to save you some time. I feel like all of them are very important. I feel like you either get pieces of the story for later, or you get more of the worlds and details and how expansive the train itself is. But there's no useless time here. There's nothing to really trim down. So it's not so much these are the important parts, but these are the parts that stood out to me. The biggest one being the tapes in the cat's car. Her perception of the experience, like choosing to forget seeing her dad sleeping on the couch and tucking him in that very emotional moment of both seeing him cry alone in the darkness with the TV on. There's so many details even surrounding that moment alone, because we don't get the full story. We just get what she knows about her parents' divorce. But her dad sleeping on the couch crying is also the only parent still wearing his wedding ring when they have the divorce talk with her. Her mom is not wearing a wedding ring. Maybe it was her mom's changes or lack of connection that led to her leaving. She left him, I guess, in a sense, is kind of the vibe I got, but not wanting to remember her dad that way, choosing to neglect that memory, but then coming to terms with it later. We also see the two extremes of these warped realities, where we have the everything's fine, see, we made cake, and we have matching sweaters that say family forever and no one's going anywhere. Then also the ultimate negative of the chanting divorce, 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 and there's just fire and demon faces all over the place. That's been warped because of the perception of how devastating it was. Both sides of that perspective, as she's struggling to come to terms with what actually happened here and taking in all of what happened, because she had to also come to terms with how poorly she was taking it, neglecting to feel the energy of the room, her wanting to get up and go get Chinese food, and you're not getting a divorce. All of it felt very real. As a child of divorce, both growing up and very young, and also another divorce in my teen years and another one in my early 20s, I really related a lot to this. Like, sometimes you are going to sort of compartmentalize experiences or alter them in a way that just feels palatable, and you might not even know that you're doing it. She's not a bad person for taking in this information this way. These aren't things you're doing out of malice. It's just something that your brain's just compartmentalizing and changing because you're just not up for or not ready to cope with it yet. And there was no prize at the end of I will keep your family together. If anything, when she's promised that, she realizes there is no promising that. They wouldn't be happy if they were together. That world would not be my parents. If you were to force them together, they wouldn't be happy. It's all about that understanding. I really admire and love how it was handled. I also love, I could be reading so much into this, but I feel like this is such an amazing metaphor for growth and especially adolescence, changes in your life, but also the natural changes of growing into your life. The biggest one being the metaphor for identity in the Chrome car, with her reflection becoming a sentient being that doesn't want to be confined to Tulip's life, who actually tricks Tulip and tries to leave the car, but she can't. This reflection is sentient now as of this train car and wants its own identity. And then by the end of the episode, literally becomes another person. Mirror Tulip is striving just to live her own life, like just wants to go be. A metaphor for emancipation, adolescence, coming of age, becoming an adult. But I also got this very strong vibe of it maybe even being about discovering your gender identity, your sexual identity, the characteristics of what makes you you, not buckling to the confines of, no, you have to be like this person. Be it either you could see the person trapped inside of Tulip as her reflection, but also just the person sitting here wanting to just live and be, make your own decisions, live your own life. I couldn't help but feel like it was a metaphor for discovering yourself, helping a friend come out, or letting yourself come out, because this is her reflection and it's a person trapped within you. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it or if that's possibly what they were going for, but this is all opinion. This is all just what I take in. I couldn't help but see those things, and I loved it. And again, whether it's about identity as a preteen to teen to adult, just a general identity, or if it is supposed to be directly about breaking through social confines to discover who you are, to be your truest self, who you are fundamentally at that, I love it. Seeing someone both understand as best they can, but understand where the limitations of your understanding stops, but still wanting to help that other person. I don't know. I loved the Terminator 2-esque mirror police. It reminded me of Scott Pilgrim vegan police coming out of nowhere and having such an interesting world and rules. There's a buddy system. That was definitely a part of the show where I'm like, oh, we didn't really get an ending to that. Tulip's original door just getting sent out somewhere in the train, and we see a monitor of all these other passengers with numbers associated to them going through their own journey. And I'm like, is this going to be the show? I think so. I think the idea is the show is different passengers, the different situations where being on the train could benefit you as a person. Could you just leave the train and be left to the wasteland? Like, I want to see more of this world, the consequences. We get a little bit of that with Amelia, with her crazy long number, which I loved. Like, good God, stop me from getting this as a tattoo. I love just seeing the number going off of her hand, up her arm, and to her neck. It's just that long of a number. What else could bring someone to be put on the train? Like, is it just family issues? Could it be a case of someone coming to terms with who they are and how they identify? I think that would be an amazing opportunity. Do I want to see what other kind of things would summon the Infinity Train? You can't help but wonder, after seeing Atticus turn into one of those cockroach dogs, have other passengers or people who've helped passengers on the train just turned into those cockroach dogs and just get released into the wasteland? Because we see them in the first episode. I just really enjoyed myself. The comedy in it is amazing. The Crystal Car, specifically with the songs, the Not Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. When Tulip realizes, when trying to unlock the door by singing a song of personal significance, the song that has so much significance to her is Word Up. It's just because she would sing it with her family in road trips, and it associates with a positive memory of her family being together. And I felt that. That's how I discovered a lot of the music I still listen to this day. That's how I discovered Bruce Springsteen, was in the car with my parents, but separately. They both loved Bruce Springsteen, and I loved Bruce Springsteen because it was a commonality between the two, and his music is genius. I really felt for that moment. She's like, I couldn't tell you what the actual meaning of this song is. Dance or something is what she said. But she thinks, she knows that it's the right answer. And at first she's a little eye-rolly, a little timid, but then she just super gets into it, and you see the effect that the song has on her, which is my whole existence on the internet really summed up, is songs with personal meanings. I loved that moment. I think that's probably my favorite part of the show, other than the Chrome world. But I love the show, and the jokes are great. The score is beautiful. It's like this strange, like Big Trouble Little China, John Carpenter kind of vibe. But it has like a haunting, eerie 80s horror kind of a sci-fi combo to it too. And it was like very synthy. It feels like, oh, a nerd is going to go through some dark stuff, and that's exactly what happens here. I loved it, but like, she still doesn't have a reflection, so Mirror Tulip could still be out there. It's not, oh, my parents got back together because I learned about myself. It's no, like, my family unit is more cohesive now. Just because things change doesn't mean it has to be bad or it can't be adapted to. And I love that it's not a long form serial. I love that these are very palatable, short stories so far. That could change. I loved it. I really want to check out book 2. But yeah, there you guys go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want more. What do you think of my thoughts? What do you think of the show? Do you want me to watch book 2? Are there other shows you want me to check out? Be sure to let me know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy right now in this crazy time, while you're remembering to be mindful of others. Take care of yourselves, please.